Hey guys, this is Miguel from Nerdy Geek Talk, the source for all your nerdy geeky needs, here with another episode of Steel City Bots. We're recording this on October 30th, 2019. Happy Mischief Night for all of you North Jersey people. Um, that's what we call the night before Halloween, where people throw eggs and do other mischievous things at people's houses. There was a whole thing at work today about like what different places call it, if at all. Like some places, it's like no, that is Halloween. Like the older kids do like rambunctious stuff, and the younger ones get candy.
Yeah.
I don't know. I never egged anyone's houses before because I'm boring.
No, yeah. We over here also have Mischief Night, though while I'm sure there's some egg tossing, it often involves knocking over tombstones. So
Mm,
mm,
that
great.
that
Huh?
that was Michael. Are you gonna knock over any tombstones after this, or did you come back and you're hiding out?
The only tombstone I could theoretically knock over is the bot I have in my display.
Do that, and you'll be able to like tell all your friends and other people you know that you've partaken in the mischief night.
Yep.
Um, and we also have Jared here. Jared, how are you doing?
Doing pretty good. Um, Tired from work, but doing pretty good. Pretty much every night is mischief night at Target. So
Mm-hmm. All those kids throwing eggs,
yeah.
pushing tombstones. I heard one story at the very least that like a few people like when they were growing up around this time or like even up to like a week before Halloween, there'd be like a ban on eggs. Like they wouldn't be able to buy any eggs. So at least one person at work was like, I got in trouble once because I went like to the store because my mother sent me to go get eggs and they wouldn't let me buy them. And I had to call her and be like, "Hey, I'm like they won't let me buy these until you tell them that you asked me to."
Okay.
Oh
Yeah,
boy.
I kind of want eggs now.
Mm. I
um,
should really make myself like a little carton of eggs to display or to put with my 3-0 or 3A Bumblebee and just display him as if he's like tossing the eggs or grabbing the eggs like he did in the movie.
yeah, smushing them together, rubbing them on the car, and then stepping on the car.
Yeah.
Bumblebee, that's a mischievous one. Be careful. If you see any VW bugs tonight, especially yellow ones, run.
Yeah.
Yeah. There
Um,
actually is a Volkswagen Beetle that parks in the Target parking lot that has an Autobot symbol, um, like like an Autobot symbol sticker on the hood of the car right next
hmm.
to the light. It's a like newer model one, but every time I see it, I'm just like, hey, that's cool.
And I saw an older model one this past weekend at TFCon DC in Western Virginia, with a MPB license plate, and there's a picture floating on social media where Dan Gilvezan, the original voice actor, is standing next to it. Um,
Nice.
yeah,
Mm.
I'll pull the picture up at some point later to show you guys. But yeah, we're recording this right after TFCon DC. Eric, Zeus, friend of the show and part of the podcast network, Aaron Mariasha, along with Twitter user Spaceboy Pipes and I don't remember his username, but John, who's a another
Darth
what happened?
Darth Forge.
Darth Forge, um,
Yep.
another friend of Eric and Jared's from their hometown. We're all
Mhm.
and myself. We're all at TFCon. It was a blast. We had tons of fun. Met tons of people. I'll throw some shout outs both at the top and at the end of the show, but like, well, we met a lot of the people from RFC, like Brian Kilby, Headmaster Don, Diecast, and Melvar, who we met before, but we saw again. We met Jen slash Trickster from Iacon Underground. Saw Third Sergio, who's on Twitter and part of like the Transmissions Donatreon Discord like group of people. I saw a few of other people that I know of through the fandom and whatnot. So shouts out to Save and First Aid, who were two First Aid I never actually met until this weekend, which is interesting because they live near where Janae lives. So that was very interesting. Be like, I know the pictures of the mall that you go to. Hello. Um,
Yeah, that's not at all or anything.
no, they were very cool about it. They were like, yeah, no, that's pretty. Like, I can imagine that's pretty weird. Like, just seeing, be like, I know that like arcade. Um, and just, oh my god, so many people, so much fun. Met plenty of people. Saw tons of great cosplay and like fan art and stuff, and then um just the dealer room itself was pretty good. Like I felt that the size of the dealer room was pretty decent for the con. I know one they had done some reshuffling and whatnot to kind of maximize the space and kind of give a bit more breathing room and whatnot, which was received with mixed opinions for one reason or another. There's been plenty of talk about it on Twitter. But I felt that the con overall was done very well. The selection of things at the dealer room was a bit not my up entirely to my speed. There was a lot of third party stuff based off of just the fact that like Agabus, the Chosen Prime, ages 3 and up, and some of probably one other retailer that I can't remember off the top of my head had a very large presence on the show floor, and then all of the dealers who were pretty much like, oh, I'm a dude who has like a big like used toy kind of like operation going on, or it's like I'm just some like Joe Blow who like showed up and is selling his collection. There were a few who had like gems other and like stuff that I was looking for. Most of the people had like either G1 stuff, Masterpiece, a lot of boxed like Unicron trilogy exclusives, which was really bizarre. Like a lot of the like Costco and like those types of exclusives, like, oh, here's the 2-pack that comes with like Optimus and like Overload or something.
Oh,
I saw the one where it's like the blackish or like dark blue RID Ultra Magnus and the yellow Optimus. Like I saw that.
huh. Oh,
Lots of lots of weird kind of like interesting stuff like that.
yeah.
But thought it went well and everything. They announced the location of the next U.S. show. They are at this point sticking to the TFCon every 3 to 4 months routine that they established this year. So the next location will be in Orlando, near like it's at a hotel that's right at the entrance to Universal Studios. In March 20th to 22nd. I'm probably gonna try to go. I'm probably gonna try to make it like an actual like vacation out of it, where like the first half of the week I'm gonna be like somewhere like near Miami, just like living it up at the beach, and then I'm gonna make it back, party hard with my robot friends, and then go home. But yeah, how was it for you guys, like being home? Especially I'll throw it first to Jared, considering the fact that Jared was supposed to go, but then unfortunately got incredibly ill and told Eric at 4 in the morning, "Yo, I'm not going."
Well,
Yeah, pretty much what happened was like, worked Thursday morning, started feeling like not really ill, but like feeling off, like towards the end of my shift. Got home, still felt weird, and like my night rolled on, started feeling really just bad. Got a migraine, couldn't pretty much keep anything down, wound up throwing up like 5 times throughout the night or something like that. And yeah, there was just no way that I was going to be able to go, because if I did go, I would probably wind up getting like one of you guys sick or something like that, and I didn't want to wind up like ruining one of your guys' weekend because I'm sick.
You would have given like people super con crud because people are
Yeah.
already kind of complaining. It's like, oh, I'm kind of sick. Especially, we were hanging out with one person who had to like wear a face mask and like, and a lot of times didn't because like taking meds or whatever. But like, you could have killed someone. Oh no. Yeah,
Yeah.
but I'm glad you're feeling. At least at the start of the show, you said, or pre-show, you said you were feeling better. So I'm happy for that.
Yeah.
Hopefully you can make it with us to Orlando if Eric decides to drive all the way from from Pittsburgh. I know he and John are planning on going.
I would not want to drive that long.
Well, no, see
Like, I
the
would,
three of you go and you go in shifts. So like, you just take the whatever how like however long it's supposed to be, and you like do it in shifts. So like one of you takes like the first like I don't even know how long. If one of you listeners, because we're all too lazy to look it up, knows how long it would take you to get from Pittsburgh to Orlando, let us know on Twitter at Steel City Bots, and we'll try to plan the we'll together with you plan the road trip that John, Eric, and Jared will take.
I mean, if there's three of them, then they can take three different shifts.
Yeah, that's what I
Just
meant. But we need to know the full amount of time first before we can divide it into three and then decide. And then you have to factor in like bathroom breaks and like rest stops that would insinuate you were taking a bathroom break at the very least. Michael, how was your weekend?
it was good. I was in my show. I was in Sweeney Todd. It was the second weekend. Um, for the Friday, I'll just have this little anecdote. Friday was nice because we've just been having like some form of like cheap little dessert that kind of looks like a pie for the meat pies, for the one song. And Friday, someone just got a whole bunch of Cheddar Bay biscuits from Red Lobster, and we were so happy.
those things are legendary.
hmm
Also, I looked it up, and it is a 14-hour drive from my location to Orlando.
Jared, you were supposed to let the listeners chime in. So 14 hours?
Yeah, 14 hours, 36 minutes for one route, and 16 hours, 3 minutes for a separate route.
So let's do the 14-hour one. So divide that into so three. That would be so that's a bit over 4 hours for each of you. That's not
No,
horrible.
No.
that'd be a long day.
It's almost five. Well, maybe like more like five and a half. So, but no, yeah, that like 5.5 hours. That's how long it took me to drive from like here to Virginia. So, and I did that on Sunday night in one shot. Which shouts out to our fellow co-host who's not here, underscore Zeus, who Zeus went to TFCon and then was planning on visiting family in New York City. I'm not too far away from New York City, so he hitched a ride with me back to New Jersey, and through a very actually great conversation that we had all up until I dropped him off, like kept me awake, which was amazing. And also I didn't really feel the drive up until the part where we were in Newark, heading to the train station he was going to, where I was just like, wait, we're in Newark, what? How?
Nice.
All right, so moving along, we is this right that we have to give our social media at the top of the hour? Honestly, like the new format, I haven't been paying attention.
No, I don't know.
Whatever. Okay, we'll give it at the top in the end, and I'll just like rapid fire. I'm at Logos Miner on Twitter. Michael is at Soundjack426 on Twitter, and Jared is at DreadPrime _ on Twitter. Follow all of us or the show at Nerdy Geek Talk for the podcast uploads and at Steel City Bots for all of the other posts that go up. We'll repeat all of this information at the bottom of the show if that was too fast, which I hope it's not. But anyway, Michael, take it away with our history lesson for the day.
All right. Today is October 30th, the day we are recording this, and on this day in 1970, Billy Brown, the second voice of Prime Cliffjumper, is born. And being one day away from Halloween, I'd be remiss to at least not have something from Halloween. And I was going to do like the two Halloween-related episodes from the G1 cartoon that premiered on Halloween. But instead, I'm going with on this day in 1970 as well. So it's one day younger than Billy Brown. Nolan North was born.
And it says here he voiced Sideswipe, Brawl, and Smokescreen.
Yes.
In what shows?
Prime Smokescreen. Sideswipe and Brawl, I believe, were from the War for Cybertron and Fall of Cybertron games.
Oh, I didn't know that.
No. Oh, not Sideswipe. Not for Sideswipe. Sideswipe was Revenge of the Fallen game.
Huh. I didn't realize that he was Brawl specifically, because I played that game. So the fact that he dipped his toes in both like the show and the games without being like one of the like G1 greats is pretty interesting.
Yeah. He also, for Fall of Cybertron specifically, he was also Cliffjumper and Bruticus. And unfortunately, he was also in Titan's Return and voiced Metroplex.
We don't talk about Titan's Return.
Yeah. Well, what did I say? I don't know what I said.
Yeah. What? Anyway, we're gonna move things along to what did everyone get this week. I'm going to let Jared go first because Jared's the only one of us who did not get a haul from TFCon, which might be interesting considering the fact that Michael wasn't there.
Yep. Yes, indeed.
All right. So, Jared, talk to us about these lovely pair of figures that you've purchased. One of these is going to be quite interesting.
All right, so let's just start off with this guy. First off, I got the Nemesis version of Unique Toys Challenger, thanks to Eric, and it's really nice. It's the Nemesis version, but I'm kind of calling it the Scourge version because it's basically just black and teal, and they are going to be making a black and purple version.
Well,
so
Nemesis is just like Scourge colors, like red, teal, like the purple. There really aren't any Nemesis primes that have much, if any, purple. Like the only thing I can think of off the top of my head is the Flame Toys model kit has purple on the axe.
Yeah.
But no, that's this is the one with the correct forearms, right? Like Eric's whole thing about the forearms.
I believe. Yeah, I believe.
Okay.
So
does this have as crazy of a transformation as like people have said?
It's not. It's a pretty involved transformation, but it's involved but smooth at the same time. So it is enjoyable. I think the one that you're thinking of is the Alien Attack Optimus Prime that they did for the Last Night / Age of Extinction, which was atrocious of a figure.
No, I meant crazy more so like in like how, like in robot mode he looks like he can't transform, and then you transform him and you're like, this thing becomes a truck. What?
Oh yeah, the truck disappears pretty much.
Right, that's what I mean. No, I know the alien. We don't talk about the Alien Attack one.
Yeah, pretty much it's just like for the transformation, split the cab, fold all the truck inside of itself, close it up, and hey, he's a robot now.
That's dope. Why did Eric help you get it, or did he buy it and then sell it?
I'm buying it off of him because I think he wanted to sell it because once he saw the purple Nemesis that they're doing, he wanted that one more, pretty much.
Okay, okay.
But yeah, if Toy World and their engineering for like movieverse figures, it's just out of this world.
Wait, I thought it was Unique Toys.
Oh yeah, Unique Toys. What am I talking about?
That's why I was like, wait, you wrote Unique Toys in the show notes. I'm confused.
Yeah, I wish
Um,
I had the Toy World Optimus Prime that they're supposedly doing.
which one's that one? Is that the...
Age of Extinction Last Night version that they're doing.
Okay.
But yeah, Unique Toys and they're like what they've done with these movie figures. It's just insane.
They're the same people who did Perukill, right?
Yeah, which I do own, and
Okay.
much like the Challenger, pretty much performs black magic with making the card disappear.
All right. That's good.
Yeah. Second thing and last thing I got is Monday I was looking around at my work before I started, and I stumbled upon a siege barricade, and he's a good figure. I liked the prowl color scheme or the prowl that they did. The vehicle mode didn't bother me all that much, but yeah. Sad thing about my barricade is that his left leg, the knee, is stupid loose. Like, kick his leg straight out, his knee just drops, which is pretty disappointing. But you win some, you lose some.
All right. It's a shame about the barricade. I was telling Jared at the top, like before we started recording, that like maybe that's like warranted to like find another one and then return that one, because like that's like it's not even like you could easily like put nail polish or anything, because that's pinned.
Yeah, you'd have to knock the pin out, nail polish the pin, if you even can do that,
And
and then
at that point, knocking out that pin, you're going to destroy the leg, because all that's clear plastic
yeah,
around the pin.
yeah, and if you don't destroy it, knocking it out, you're definitely destroying it when
Put
you knock it back in whenever
Right.
it's thicker.
Right. Oh God. So hopefully, I mean, hopefully you could find a replacement, and unless it doesn't bother you that much, in that case, like, oh hey, like bum leg barricade, that kind of rhymes.
If I find yeah, if I can find a replacement, I can always display the replacement in his robot mode and display this in his alt mode or something like
That
that.
is true.
Or I could make this barricade like the police officer, or like he was once a police officer, but he suffered a terrible knee injury and he had to be was like forced to retire or something like that.
And that's
So
when he
now
went
he just
bad.
yeah, so that's why he went bad and he just gimps
He
along.
was so angry that he had to retire that he decided to become a criminal. All right, Mike. Oh God, Michael, you like. I was gonna say like go next, but you have so much. Like you have. I don't. I wonder if you beat me between the stuff that you got and then the stuff that you got at TFCon.
Maybe.
I mean, I don't know that you. I mean, you can't really talk much about the stuff you got at TFCon, considering that like you currently don't have it in your possession.
Yes.
I do.
Thank you again.
Yeah. Just to tell the story now. So essentially, there were a number of things that Michael, was needed picking up from TFCon, whether it be, stuff. Well, initially it's stuff that he bought off of people that were going to the show along with us, and stuff that he had requested from people that we were needing to pick up. So that's already like opened the floodgates, and then there were a couple of things that were either brought and additionally brought to the con that he on Twitter saw and was like, "Yo, I need that," or I was like, "Hey, they have this," and he was like, "I'll send you the money."
Yeah.
But before listing off the things that you got from TFCon that you will eventually have in your possession once we see each other,
Yes.
why don't you tell us about some of the stuff that you've picked up in the last like week or so?
Okay. So for things I picked up in the last week or so, um, a lot of it's like a bit atypical kind of things.
I would say so.
The most current thing I've picked up recently was Siege Ratchet the other day at a Walmart, not Walgreens, sorry.
that'd be quite the find. It's like I found a Siege
Yeah,
Ratchet at a Walmart. It's like what?
yeah, for sure. I will admit I'm very surprised how much retooling there is on this, even though Ratchet is really just Ironhide but white and red.
It's crazy. I'd seen side by sides, but then at TFCon, and this is somewhat spoilers for like the news, but Ratchet's out in the wild. He was spotted in the DC area like the day before TFCon, which people were like, "What?" Which prompted the day of that Friday, Eric and Zeus went and to kill some time went to a bunch of Walgreens and they found one and Zeus claimed it. And he was showing it off, and yeah, a lot of the surface sculpting is completely new.
Yes.
Spoilers, I also got Siege Ratchet, so I can attest to this in person. But
Yeah. Uh, and to go on Siege Ratchet a little bit more, he's quite good. I know a lot of the promo photos made it look his color layout look bad because it looked like he was predominantly white. However, the crotch and the wheels, which were the big seemingly turnoffs, are just in like a light gray plastic, which for some reason in the photography came off as white as the things on him that are
his
actually.
his
And somehow it's just so slightly different, but it just changes everything.
his fists are also that same color, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
And it all matches the paint on his face. So,
Which is such a good head sculpt.
yes, very nice head sculpt. Uh, Admittedly, just with just the accessories though, I kind of want to get a second Ratchet just so as I can give Ironhide their shared missile launcher and then another wrench to Wheeljack once the Siege one comes in because I don't think that one's coming with a wrench.
But see, then how do you give a wrench to Nautica?
Oh.
You need a third one.
Hey, and if anyone happens to not want their accessories from their Siege Ratchets, hit me up.
That'd be amazing if someone did. It's like, yeah, here's the wrench.
Yeah.
No, another thing, which is fresh on the Steel City Bots Twitter at Steel City Bots. Another thing you can do if you get a second Ratchet to cannibalize, for your different figures, his fists you can give to the up and coming Wave 5 crosshairs. So your crosshairs will be a perfect representation of the Rebirth, because in the Rebirth, crosshairs for some reason had white hands. I may have two Siege Ratchets, so that might be where the second pair of hands went. Possibly. Hypothetically.
Nice. But yeah, Siege Ratchet is good. Seems to be more plentiful than some of the other Walgreens exclusives at the moment.
I went to a bunch of Walgreens around in the area. There's a lot. I'm in a very densely populated area, so there's a lot of Walgreens with every like 10 miles from each other. It was a quest to find one with good paint apps, because a lot of the ones that I was finding initially had horrible paint apps. I found two with good paint apps, and those are the ones that I bought. Partly to compare, and then when I saw stuff today about like, oh, the fists and everything, I'm like, okay, I'm opening both of them up. A lot of them I saw had either like roughed up chests or specifically, and listeners, if you care about this stuff, don't look at your ratchets this closely because you'll go insane. If you look underneath his head crest towards, if you're looking at him, it would be on the right. I saw so many that for some reason underneath the head crest they were scuffed, so like there was a chunk of paint underneath like the ridge of the crest missing. I don't know necessarily if that's like the way they were being removed from like the assembly line or something. And that paint got scraped up. It was really bizarre to see so many of them with that that same paint defect.
Huh. I
Yeah,
seem to have gotten lucky. So
in my travels, I started seeing more with like good paint apps. So I think it just like a couple cases in the area just were full of bad batches.
mhm.
I saw one really bad one where he had like a whole scrape across his nose, and I'm like, I'm leaving you here. Someone else will take you and not feel
that
as
that the shattered glass ratchet.
I mean, at that one point, that's what I was thinking. I was like, I could just buy one of these and like paint it up as like Shattered Glass or like the Marvel Comics head. Right now, I have one that's got no hands, so I could like. There's a joke there.
hmm
But enough about Ratchet. What's some of the other stuff that you've been able to pick up recently?
Uh, so beyond ratchet, uh, I also, thanks to the nice person on the TFW boards,
Who was that?
uh, what?
I didn't hear the name.
I don't remember the name.
Oh, okay. It sounded like you said a username.
Yeah, I just said off the TFW boards.
Oh, I thought you said it. Okay, ignore me.
Yeah, all good. And from them, I picked up the G1 Walmart reissue Starscream, Legends Black Arachnia, and a Transmetal Tarantulas with his gun.
Didn't you?
All
Yeah, go ahead. You were about to say the price.
all for $70.
Yeah,
Ship.
that's crazy.
Yes.
You.
And the thing was,
Hell.
I didn't really talk him down. It was he was selling the Starscream for 20, Black Arachnia for 25, and Tarantulas for 30, which is what I paid for the Transmetal Tarantulas I previously had without his gun. And then I was just like, hey, just knock $5 off. And he was like, sure, sounds good.
Yeah, like but I feel like how much was the Black Arachnia you said?
25.
That's great. No, like
And she still had her box.
that's. I'm pretty sure I saw one more expensive loose.
Yeah. Which
Like
is why
I
I
think
got it.
I think I've seen her for 75 boxed.
Yeah. Yeah. And she was basically mint inbox. And also this Tarantulas was so nice. Like my Tarantulas is pretty nice in terms of like chrome flaking, but this one was even more nice. And I'm like, how is this possible?
That's crazy. And how's the quality on the Starscream?
The quality on the Starscream is pretty good. It's just very weird with how parts for me it is.
Oh no, that's a very interesting.
Yes.
From what I haven't messed with one personally, but from what I've heard, he's one of the interesting ones where it's always it's fun to like see people be like, oh, back in my day, like
We
like
didn't
Transformers
have
were
parts.
awesome. It's like Starscream's a parts farmer.
Yeah. You don't even have a place to store his fists in jet mode.
Yeah.
But the nice thing is this one is one of the ones with one of the reissues with Megatron pistol that is molded specifically for Starscream's hands.
Hmm.
Um, so that's also means I could probably say that I've got a G1 Megatron because we're never going to get a reissue of the original actual Megatron.
Not unless it's. Huh. Actually, no. I wonder if even at this point, safety Megatron would be impossible to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would assume, yeah. Um,
Like even if you just give him, even if it's like without the silencer, stock, or anything like that. I still don't see that. Like,
Yeah, no, no way.
sadly, no. Along with most likely a G1 reissue Shockwave because of his alt mode as well.
Well, no, I think Shockwave might be. Actually, no,
Because it's
no,
like a
no. They couldn't. The Siege one had beat.
submarine, yeah, or
Oh,
the spaceship.
a spaceship. So yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah.
All right.
Unless they invert his alt mode in the box or something like that,
Right.
and say
It's like, oh look, it's
submarine
it's a
mode.
They're
submarine.
just, oh, it's a laser pistol,
Yeah,
laser blaster,
laser pointer.
It's a Nerf gun.
giant laser pointer, perfect.
These last two gets are one of them I can kind of see because it's for what it is, but the other one I'm confused about. Like, why?
Okay. So I assume the one you get is the Armada Minicon Nightbeat.
Right. You love minicons.
Yeah, yeah. And I was like, I don't feel like having a sideswipe. Yeah, sideswipe, because in my quest to hopefully get all of Cybertron, I'll end up with the mold anyway, just retooled to have a Cyber Key instead.
As did they call him Runabout or Runamuck?
Run amok.
They called him
Runamuck.
Runamuck, but he called it like Runabout.
Yes.
Right.
And then I also, from this same person, this transaction was through eBay that had the Nightbeat. They also had a Junker Cybertron Scattershot. And I say Junker, but really it's just the Scout class Scattershot, just without any accessories. And that's because in my history of breaking toys, one of the things I did was I accidentally broke my Scattershot's right arm. And it was predominantly because, like, playing with toys and ball joints are allow for, battlefield damage and whatnot. I would take the pieces off, and then there was a bit of the arm next to the ball joint which just snapped completely, and I lost the piece, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to super glue the arm on. And then now, years later, I'm like, that's not good. And then I found that for pretty good price, and I'm like, okay, yeah, grab that too. So now I have a scatter shot that has all his movement.
I think what confused me most was that, like, reading the thing, I didn't like process it was like the was he a basic, or did they call them scouts at that point?
They were scouts at that time.
Oh, I didn't realize it was the scout class one. My brain's like what, like I'm thinking the Cybertron defense, because that's what I usually think when I think scattershot. So I was like, why the Cybertron defense one? Like, why, like, to give do you still have drop shot?
Yes, I still have drop shot.
All right, I was like, oh, to give drop shot some parts, like, why? Oh, okay, but no, the basic, okay. All right. Do you want to rapid fire through your TFCon haul?
Yes. So things I had bought prior to the convention. I bought Armada Scavenger with roll bar, more Minicon goodness. I also got the G1 Walmart reissue cassettes from Eric, who actually owes me money because he bought a lot of stuff from me, and this is partial payment. And then during the convention, Miguel grabbed me Galaxy Force Starscream in the box, as well as 2 Boss Coffee exclusive Nikon Seawave and Kraton. And finally, of course, and then very near the end of the convention, I ended up talking to saw Genevieve Frank on Twitter, was posting about selling a few things, including a Combiner Wars Breakneck and Quick Slinger mint in sealed box, I believe.
Yeah, they're
and
sealed.
She was like, yeah. And so they were 30 a piece, and I'm like, that's the best price. I've seen them. Would you sell them even though I'm not there? And it's like, if you can get someone to pick it up. And I was like, Eric did it. So yeah, I got those.
The two of you were going back and forth on Twitter, and all three of us were in the same room. It was so funny because I went on Twitter and I was just like, what's happening? And then Eric wasn't there at that point when Eric showed, or no, he was, but he wasn't looking at his phone. So I was like, Eric, have you looked at your phone? He's like, no. And he's He's like, "Where is she?" And I'm like, "She's over there." And he turned and he's like, "Oh." And then he walked over and sat next to her and like it was like kind of I saw them like kind of he was kind of like moving his fingers and like gesturing, and she was just kind of looking at him like, "What the fuck?" And then, or, oops. Well,
You're gonna have to edit.
no, I'm just gonna warn people. It's like, we're off the cuff because it's I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
it's like why, and then she was just like, "Oh," like she kind of gave that gesture, and then it was like, "Okay, we're good."
Okay.
And then he got them later on and handed them to me,
Yeah.
and I
And he got the halfway through the panel, from what I saw from Genevieve.
halfway. What do you mean halfway through the panel?
Through the end of the panel, she showed me a picture of her giving them to Eric while
Oh.
he was sitting at the table for the podcast panel.
Okay, yeah. No, I just the way you said, it, I was just like, wait, was it like broadcast? Like, because we're in the we did record. We did. No, I wouldn't say record because we didn't record anything. Unfortunately, we did participate in both the Friday podcaster roundtable and the Sunday podcaster roundtable. We're in the process of tracking down a recording. We were put in contact with the person who, on like officially on behalf of TFCon was recording stuff. So hopefully we'll have that to distribute. I think this will be the first time we actually have one to like put up, because normally we just kind of have to be like, they have it. Go listen go listen to it there if you want to hear us speak. So we'll be ideally distributing those. It's been a bit of like a joke to like straight criticism to like, oh wait, maybe we actually will have the recording. So fingers crossed.
Yeah. That'd be cool.
And then the Boss Coffee ones, that was funny because I walked up and I was just like, what the heck are these? And then the guy explained them to me, and then I just DM'd you and I was like, do you know what the Boss Coffee mini cons are? They're here for $10, and you're like, get them. And the Galaxy Force Starscream, I saw that on Saturday evening, and it was for $40. And I like at that point, a lot of the stuff around it had disappeared, but it was still there, and I'm like, this will probably still be here tomorrow because no one cares. Everyone's grabbing the G1 stuff. So I put it back. Went back first thing the next morning, and it was still there. And I brought it up, and I was like, "How much is this?" And the guy was like, 40. I'm like, "Would you do 35?" And the guy was like, "Yeah, sure." And then kind of gave me this whole thing about like, yeah, like I'm fine with like giving people a good deal, but like they got like a deal, but like they gotta have cash. They have to really be intent on buying it, and like they can't give me the runaround on like super expensive stuff and be like, "Will you do that for $1?" So I had a lot of conversations like that with dealers where I would like drop $5 and they're like, "Thank God, someone reasonable,"
Yay.
or like someone with cash, and I was like, "Whoa!" Like, but we had enough of that problem where a lot of people kept asking me if they could buy Eric stuff and PayPal me, and I'm like, "This is gonna get messy." Like, where's Eric? Because there were a few times where Eric wasn't in the room.
Yeah.
But all right, cool.
Yeah. And then the last thing was
The best thing.
Miguel received the custom sound jack and rationale that was done so amazingly by Grimlockamus.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot comment on any more than I have prior. Because I only seen pictures, so if Miguel can comment on how good it looks slightly.
Oh, it looks amazing. It looks so good in person. Grimlockamus does such great work. At sign Chrome Tyranno on Twitter. If you want to go check out his stuff, or specifically, if you have to go back a bit, but you'll find pictures of the Soundjack. Or if you go on my Twitter, you'll see pictures of Soundjack and some other stuff that I picked up from his table. But I will get into that when I'm talking about my stuff. Which, unless you have anything else to say,
no.
All right, cool. So then, the stuff that I picked up. So the first stuff that I picked up at TFCon, was during the room sales, I grabbed there was a guy selling a couple of selling of his room. So that's something if people who are unfamiliar, our friend Aaron Mariasha was. Like at TFCon, usually during after the registration, there's or up by the registration area, there's a cork board that people can just like kind of put up their or cork board, it's like a bulletin board where people can put up like their wants, their what they have to sell, or like, oh hey, I'm gonna sell stuff out of this room. So we were doing that, but we were also I also like took the time to like look around to see what was around. It was repetitive. Picked up the Robots in Disguise Destructicon Scourge. That's the G2 Hero Prime mold done up in Scourge colors. It's mint and sealed, or mint on sealed card, and it still has the remnants of its KB Toys like price sticker, which was amazing. Are both of you still here?
Yeah.
Okay, no one was speaking, so I got concerned. I'll carry on.
No, you're good. I'm at the very least here. I know Jared said he was having internet issues.
Right, all right. So then that was the first thing, and then from the same guy, I also picked up Henkei Ramjet mint on sealed card, and we weren't, none of us were really in the room. Were really sure what it was. We just knew it looked like Alpha Trion, but I was sure it was a third-party item, and it turned out to be the Impossible Toys Alpha Trion that they did. The guy just threw it into my like kind of bundle and was like $10 for this, and gave me a good deal on all of it. So that started the con, or started before even the con really started. And then in the morning, was when the real fun began. I got in line to get into the dealer room probably around 7:20 in the morning. The dealer room didn't open until 9 for weekend pass holders. And I just I was right at the front of the line, chatted with two pretty cool dudes. One whose name and internet presence I do not remember in the slightest. I just know that he is from southern New Jersey. The other one, whose first name I do not remember currently, but he goes by @Northern Autobot on Twitter, and he was pretty fun to talk to. He just freshly made his Twitter and hasn't tweeted anything, but he was a cool dude in person, so go follow him. Maybe he'll start tweeting. Maybe. But walked into the dealer room, followed the line that ended up becoming the exclusives line, found a person who was in a con staff shirt, and I was like, can I just get into Artist Alley now? And they were like, yeah, go over there towards the door. So I went into Artist Alley, went the long way to get to Grimlock and Mrs. Table, which was unfortunate because I ended up being one of the a couple people behind. But thankfully was able to not only grab Soundjack Custom, but also pick up two things that he had for sale. Siege Toxitron and Siege Generation Selects Minor Megatron. Megatron is out of the Siege G2 Megatron mold with the retooled head, looking like Megatron as he did early IDW with the hazard stripes and everything. And Toxitron from the Siege Optimus Voyager mold. After I bought the Toxitron specifically, I said, oh, I want those two. Diecast from Radio Free Cybertron crouched down, went over to me and punched me in the back because he was mad. Which I was just laughing. I was just like, yo, you snooze, you lose.
Yep.
His Grimlock and Mrs. Customs disappeared in 15 minutes. It was so bad. He sold everything and was just like, oh, all right, I'm done. I'm gonna go walk around the dealer room. So that I picked up that, and then picked up, oh my god, so much stuff.
Sounds like you had a good time.
Yeah, and I had a very good time. Walking around the dealer room, one of the other things I picked up was Beast Wars Second God Neptune. That was loose but complete for $80.
That's. I probably would have gone for that.
It was such no. It was to put into perspective how good of a price that was. I then pointed to a $200 boxed one to Matt from Radio Free Cybertron, and he looked at it and was like, "I'm gonna go back to my room and go get more money. That's a good price." And he left, and then bought it.
And this is the guy that does not like Beast Wars.
It's TFCon, so and it's Beast Wars 2 or Beast Wars Second. Those were the caveats that he laid out. Some other stuff that I picked up, toy wise, I picked up. This was from a room sale actually that I failed to mention. Picked up BotCon Alpha Trizer, the Alpha Trion redeco of Thundertron. Thank you. I was like Pirate Lion. That's not his name. Thundertron. To finish off. I mean, the Alpha Trizer is technically a Cheetor fiction wise, but he looks like Alpha Trion, and he's inspired by an Alpha Trion toy that never came out. So I've put him up on my Alpha Trion shelf and thus finished my Alpha Trion shelf. So I now own every single official toy of Alpha Trion that has ever come out.
Whoop.
Also picked up a Henkei Ironhide, because the Henkei Ironhide that I have is kind of like just like his bad like paint apps and stuff, and this one was cheap, so I picked that up. A Beast, along with the oh my god, the God Neptune. I also picked up a really good condition Transmetal 2 Black Arachnia complete. I wasn't sure. Initially I wasn't sure. I was like, "Where's her projectile?" Because she's got like a grapple hook projectile thing. It's her beast head, which I did not know. So you just pull her beast head out, and it's on a string, and it's wild. Some other stuff that I picked up. The rest of it was to continue like sort of the BotCon exclusive train. Pete Sinclair from BotCon was there. So he had a few things. I picked up from him a production sample of G2 Clench that's pretty much final. He said that the G2 year, all of the production samples were pretty much a one-for-one for what ended up coming out in the sets. So I picked up that. Bug Bite's Wave Cruiser jetpack, because he didn't have a Bug Bite, but he had the backpack, and I figured, okay, one day some poor soul's gonna like put a Bug Bite that doesn't have its backpack up on eBay, and I'll just buy it, and then like reunite the two and have a complete Bug Bite. And then the last thing toy wise, which was courtesy of Eric, because back during TFCon Toronto, Eric was supposed to provide me the BotCon Ravage and Tarantulas from the last year of BotCon, so I could complete my Predicus, and Eric left them at home. Then things happened with shipping them out, so he's like, I'm just gonna give them to you in DC, and I was like, okay, sure. And then he only was able to bring Tarantulas because his shelves fell, and amongst the things that broke after the shelves fell included Ravage. So the Ravage that he had originally sold to me was destroyed. I say destroyed, it was with like the foot came off, but like clean, sheared off. So Eric brought me Tarantulas, still failed to bring me his foot gun. So that became a thing of like, Eric, where's the Tarantulas? So I left it in my room. Okay, here's the Tarantulas. Where's the foot gun? Oh, I left it in my room. Oh, I left it at home. So he says that he shipped them out today, the foot gun and Ravage, because Eric ended up buying a Junker Ravage that was missing pieces but had both its feet. So between the two Ravages, I'm going to combine them into a single Ravage, and it'll be fine. He also picked up, either he picked up or he had them, I'm not really sure, the bio cards. So cheers to Eric for that. Everything else I got was art related. I picked up the last thing, I picked up some stickers that have the eyes for the Transmetal 3 Megatron. these stickers sometimes go for like 30 to 40 bucks on eBay. Pete had a stack of them and was giving away for like $5.
Sorry, yeah, a stack of what?
Stack of stickers.
Ah, okay.
Then some art. Picked up some postcards from Josh Perez, one of Depth Charge and one of Cosmos. Picked up some two prints, one of Springer and then one of like all of the 86 movie people from Josh Burcham. Casey Collar was doing he had a Marvelous Mechs art book that he was also like sort of like yeah, art book, sketchbook. Well, no, it was an art book, like almost like a zine type of thing. It's on old school comic paper, and it's a bunch of designs that are styled and colored like the Marvel G1 comic, and it's so cool. What was funny though is that he the box that he were in, it said like art book or something, and then it like in parentheses it said waifu catalog. So that's what I called it when I was like, "Can I have one of the waifu catalogs?" Jack Lawrence was selling his Lost Light series Bible, so I picked that up. And then the last two, or I also like Pete. When you bought stuff off of Pete at his like room, he was giving away like a lithograph, like a bunch of different lithographs. So I got one of like the SG characters versus the Classic Source characters. And the last two things I got, both Armada related. One is an original art piece by Aaron Archer of Armada Sideways. With he does the whole thing where like Sideways is split down the middle, so he's half Autobot, half Decepticon. And had a good chat with him while I was like perusing through his art, and just kind of like in front of his table. And then the other one that I got, was from Twitter user Constant Scribbles, where I'm pretty sure the O in constant is a 0. Constant Motion. Okay, so at Constant Motion, replace the O in constant and the first O in motion with zeros. His art is so good, and the print he did of the Armada, he had like most of the Armada characters, I'm pretty sure, on the the thing. Yeah, it's like Optimus, Hotshot, Red Alert, Jetfire, no smoke screen. But yeah, them and like all of the mini, like their respective minicons, and the humans and their minicons versus Megatron, Starscream, Tidal Wave, Thrust, Demolishor, and Cyclonus, along with both Sideways, half Autobot, half Decepticon, and Unicron in the background, just kind of being like, let them fight. And there's a activating minicon panel in the middle. But yeah, not. And then the final thing was a. There was one person in the artist alley who was doing up like a bunch of like embroidery. I probably know it's not embroidery. Let me double check. I'm trying to pull up their Twitter so I can properly. All right. Cross stitch and chainmail stuff. X Culture Crafts on Twitter. She had such good stuff. I picked up a Lugia pillow along with a few charms for Janae. Yeah, that pretty much sums. Oh, and then Prime Scraplet, because someone bought some stuff off of me and like didn't have all the money, so it's like, oh, well, you, or I say Prime, but it's Cyberverse, but it is Prime. Someone had a bunch of stuff and was like, I have some stuff to trade, and some of the stuff he had to trade was stuff I was selling. So I'm like, yo, what are you trying to tell me? But he had the Cyberverse Scraplet on card, like, and stuff. So I was like, okay, Scraplet plus like $17 for like, I think he bought like my FOC kickback off of me. But yeah, lots of neat stuff, lots of great people. Like I said before, so much fun. Um, Lots of stuff that I wasn't really into, like the third party, some G1, a lot of Japanese G1 specifically. Like I'll mention again at sign third Sergio at one point, huge just power move. Walked out of the dealer room on Sunday morning with a boxed version, like UK version of Overlord, and on top of that was a bagged version of, like a bagged. I say bagged version. It was a in the bag in a bag. Oh my god, Deathsaurus from G1. So just like, so yeah, just nonchalantly be like, yeah, I picked up two of the G1, or like the two G1 exclusive Decepticon leaders. It's like, yo, like why, like that's wild. Like just $1,100 worth of stuff right there.
Yeah.
Like I'm just like,
Wasn't there?
that's like one whole con haul in like two figures.
Yes.
But yeah,
Yeah.
um,
So,
uh, what?
you get anything else, or
No, I think that pretty much sums it up. I haven't really opened anything as of yet. I've messed with some stuff. Oh, and then Siege Ratchet, which I mentioned before, but um, yeah, like that's pretty much it. It was a good con, good haul. Had fun hanging with people. Hanging with people was the main thing. Um,
yeah,
the bar wasn't as like, it was in, like, because I mentioned the bar. The scene at the bar I felt wasn't as relaxed for me as it was in Toronto. So that was the one thing I was just kind of like, and every time I showed up, like it was like after the like last call, so I was just like, well, I can't even order anything. Like, what am I doing here? But yeah, moving on to the news. It's a bit light. We're in that we're in that interesting period, despite the fact that or I say despite the fact, but like both MCN London Comic Con and I think Paris Comic Con both happened this past weekend, so we have some news to talk about, but we're
yeah.
still in that weird like light period where like really the last couple of things to look forward to toward the end of the year are just like the last wave of figures coming out, and then Toy Fair, which is right around the corner, honestly, like November, December, January, and boom, February, and like early to mid February is when we're gonna see the stuff at Toy Fair. So looking forward to that. But in the here and now, we have some pretty interesting news. The first thing coming out of London Comic Con and I'll have to rearrange the show notes, are new official images of some Cyberverse figures. So we have, seems that this next wave of Cyberverse figures is going to feature Energon armor. So these are mostly, it seems like, flip down armor that armors up the figures, not unlike the flip down mask characters that came out in Age of Extinction. If you guys remember those, like there was the Grimlock, the Optimus, and like Megatron and some other characters.
Maybe I'm not positive.
Oh, Jared's gone. I thought Jared was still here.
Oh yeah, Jared's whole thing is just dead.
Oh, okay. So it's just us two. All right. But yeah, so these all have like I guess you activate some sort of button or something, and like it just flips the armor over their head and chest. It seems to be based off of like different types of like armor from like around the world, mostly like I guess Japanese and European. So we have Bumblebee, are these all the same size class, or okay, Optimus and Shockwave that were announced are Ultimate class, and the rest of them are Ultras. So we have Shockwave, Optimus, Bumblebee, Clobber and Hot Rod. Clobber is interesting because she looks amazing. She looks pretty much like she walked out of the show. Oh. Um. Alright. Bear with me, ladies and germs. My Skype died. This episode will have to get edited. Holy crap. Hello? What happened to Michael? Michael's internet died. What happened?
Okay.
Alright, yeah, I'm gonna have to edit this episode. Like, this is bad.
Yeah.
Alright. What was the last thing you heard?
I ended up talking about the Energon armor a little bit. I forget what the exact last thing you said was.
Well, I'm not sure. Oh, okay, so we'll take it back.
Yeah.
I'll just take it back to the beginning. All right. All right. Apologies. Some technical difficulties there, but we're back. So the first thing we have are the London Comic Con Cyberverse reveals, where we have it's a new gimmick. Flip down Energon armor for an armor up feature. We have a couple of characters, 2 ultimate size class characters in Shockwave and Optimus Prime, and then ultra class characters Bumblebee, Hot Rod, Clobber, and
That's it.
that's it. At
Yeah.
least for this news story. All of them, it seems very similar to the Age of Extinction. There was a series of flip down armor figures. This seems very much in that similar vein. Clobber, I think, looks the best out of all of these, and specifically because of the fact that she looks like she walked off the screen.
Yes. And also the fact it looks like she's got the most articulation out of any of these ones.
Right, she's got knees. It looks like she's got like hip articulation. She's got elbows and like shoulders. Her head doesn't look like it
Gonna
can
move at all.
move,
Yeah.
but she looks really good, and she turned into like some weird like tank thing, which is surprising.
Tank thing with tiny wings like Revenge of the Fallen Megatron.
So maybe she can fly.
Maybe.
Bumblebee's got some cool swords. Optimus looks really bad.
Yes.
Optimus kind of looks like a football player when he's in armor mode.
Yeah. Shockwave is even more angry, and apparently borrows chest design from his Dark of the Moon self.
His gun kind of looks like. I was gonna say initially it kind of looks like, because he has like a flip out gun hand thing. I was gonna say it kind of looks like the one that the deluxe comes with, but now that I'm looking at it, not really.
Mm-hmm.
So these will be available starting at according to the press release, January 1st, so New Year.
Yep.
And then today we got some more looks at some of these figures, because this is I can't remember if we talked about this last week, but there were some leaked images of like a Repugnus and a Whirl.
Yes. I don't know if we did.
Well, anyway, there were leaked images of Repugnus and a Whirl, who might be one step, or maybe the Whirl's an old. Well, actually, no, the Ultra's Whirl didn't have the flip down, so it's probably a 1-step or a 3-step. But these images give us the final member of like the I guess the wave, or the 2 waves of Ultras. Is anyone excited for an Ultra Rack and Ruin?
Yeah.
So the Autobot conjoined twins turn into a tank and then have a flip down mode. They look like they have a lot of articulation for an Ultra class, which is really surprising.
Yeah. Again, I had thought when I saw the blurrier images that these were deluxes. They were a deluxe, because of the amount of articulation. It was like, I don't see there any blast effect parts, but this feels like a deluxe. And just like Clobber, it's a really good looking Rack and Ruin.
Right.
Wish we had better images, but like,
right. Of the four, it looks like Bumblebee and I almost said Sideswipe, Hot Rod are very like standard fare, while Clobber and Rack and Ruin very much feel like, oh, like this is where the budget of the wave or the line or like this line, this version, this corner of the line went to. They both
yeah.
look really good. And then the last thing that people, or the two things that people don't really haven't. Last week they were talking about the Hot Rod, who appeared and there was like kind of like back and forth of what size class he is. It appears that he is indeed a deluxe, and then along with him we have a deluxe Grimlock, who in these photos appears as a gray model. His
Even
robot
though,
mode looks
yeah,
pretty good. His Dino mode kind of looks like he's kind of a backpack in Dino mode.
yeah, I mean, when has there been a general release Grimlock that's been like really good? To be honest, except maybe the animated one, but I've never had that toy.
The animated one has kind of weird like arms. I think the best Grimlocks to have ever come out of retail were the G1 Grimlock,
Mm-hmm.
the classic Pretender Grimlock,
Mm-hmm.
the Classics Grimlock,
Okay.
I guess the Studio Series, but then that kind of goes like way beyond like what Grimlock normally looks like. And
Yeah.
then if you want to get technical, the Masterpiece Grimlock was released at general retail, or not general. No, it was released as a Toys R Us exclusive. Exclusive. Never mind. That doesn't count.
Yeah.
Even though it was, I think it was really wasn't it released twice?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I'm not positive, but maybe.
I think it got a re-release, and that re-release was pretty much straight up the Takara one.
Yeah. Happy Halloween. It is officially midnight.
Oh, Happy Halloween!
Woo!
Um,
The thing that surprised me though with this Grimlock is that it looks like it's expected for April, while
well,
the Hot Rod's expected for May, and Hot Rod is in full color, but Grimlock's still in the prototype stage.
that is bizarre. Um, it might
I
just be these
wonder.
pictures. I mean, these pictures aren't the pictures we're looking at are these tend to be like the internal solicitations because they have all the pricing info too that
Yeah.
the Japanese retailers receive. So these pictures aren't supposed to be shared,
Ah.
but they end up getting shared all the time. Like there was at least one instance where someone tweeted at like someone official using like these types of photos. I'm pretty sure, and like the people were just like, "Why do you have these? Like you shouldn't have these." Um, but anyway, like that's some like it's something because most people I feel like get very excited for like the studio, like usually either the Studio Series or like the Generations and Masterpiece news. But it's nice to see that like the Cyberverse is starting to hit its stride both in its toy line and in its in the cartoon. Because I know a lot of people were kind of like, oh, there's some neat things about Cyberverse Season 1, but there's also some, like, not so great things about Cyberverse Season 1, and then Season 2 is pretty much just, like, very much like Optimus Prime at the end of Revenge of the Fallen, has just kind of shaken off all of the dead weight, and then has, like, very powerfully stepped next to the Sphinx in the desert and just been like, yo, I'm here to wreck, like, your day.
Yeah.
I hope people get that reference. They probably will. They probably hate me for it. At
Yeah.
sign Logos Minor to complain about that reference.
Yeah.
And then moving along from the Cyberverse news, continuing our London Comic Con coverage. Is this all? This isn't all of the. No, I missed something, didn't I? This isn't all of the BotBots news.
No, it is. Pretty much is. We got the ideas of the packaging. We got the new line like sub name, and then we got that one ad, and that was it.
Okay, then you take it away because I don't understand what's happening. Wait.
Okay, so from so what was revealed is at London Comic Con is that Series 4, starting with Series 4 at the very least, it's going to the Transformers bots are going to be involved in the Gold Rush games, which feature basically a lot of the bots molds in gold, seemingly gold paint rather than, or maybe chrome, but probably paint. But it's not like these are a chase variant or anything. These are genuine original characters who are part of a new tribe called the Winner's Circle Tribe, which I'm just assuming is a store that just sells like those weird trophies like best at golfing or whatever. You know what I'm talking about? Some of those like
I guess, but I've never seen a store that sells like a golden donut or like a golden like.
It's probably for like best donut eater award or something. Because we do get bios for two of the characters, though the sad thing is they are just straight up like gold popcorn and gold blender.
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't like I saw the gold ones and I was just like, oh, gold bots, sure.
Yeah.
And then
Speaking
like the
of that,
crane game, like none of this makes sense to me.
yes. And then so yeah, there's the Gold Rush, which there wasn't any information stated about this, but my assumption is that these gold bots and these Gold Rush games are the replacement for the lost bot of year one. Because they're stated they're going to be hard to find, yada yada yada, and remember everyone being like, "Oh, how hard are the lost bots going to be to find?" And then you're like, "Oh, these are all set packs. It's not random." But what's going on with the Claw game and Gumball Machine? These seem to be very similar to the Arcade Renegades pack we got with Series 3. An additional type of packaging that's just got a different way of doing things. It's just a little fun packaging that you can kind of interact with and be like, oh, I'm going to make a gumball, or, well, in this case, a gotcha ball drop, because they're making it feel like a gotcha game. And according to the official press release information, there are 10 items in each package, 5 regular bots, 1 golden bot, and 4 stickers that you can get. These are going to be released along with the previously existing single packs, 5 packs, and 8 packs. Though all of this was not super clear in the information we initially received. That seems to be the case, and they also state there will be another 190 bots to collect in 2020. So get ready for that, bots collectors out there. There's a bit more information, but that's like the stuff that properly came out. I've seen some people kind of worried again with how rare the golden bots are going to be, but my guess is they're just going to be the new lost bots. So they'll be able to be found once you know which packs they come in. And then the Gumball Machine unboxing and the Claw Game surprise unboxing are $20. And I told you what they come with, and are expected to become available 1/1/2020. So start of the year, just like with the Cyberverse stuff. Hopefully these ones actually show up in stores.
Yeah, because the whole, it was the Arcade Renegades, right? That like you had to get number like the variant 6 of them to get the actual like, oh, here are all of the exclusive molds.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had someone because Eric was selling some bots, so we ended up having someone who it was a father son pair who were very into bots. It was also very interesting because the father son pair, like, the son could have been like Eric's, or like around the age of the people like that Eric and I and the rest of us were hanging out with. So it was like, yo, like this is like scary.
Hmm.
Is that it for the bots kind of like download?
That's the main bit. I do have a news bits video up on my channel, Soundjack426. If you want to go into a little more detail, where I also talk about like the new bots for the regular teams that seem to be available based on what we can find on the packaging. I
Right,
mean,
there's a hot foods or something like that, right?
and then oh yeah, and that's another thing from the commercial. We see like two the hot foods. It looks like there's going to be like a spicy food tribe coming up. That we got like a full on insignia for, and there was another one in that trailer. Someone else pointed out to me that maybe it's like a home appliances thing, because we do have a couple of home appliance machines. We've got the blender, who's getting a regular color release, it seems, as well as redeco or color lift of the Javasaurus Rex. So an appliance alliance team, perhaps.
Ooh,
But
I like that name.
I love the name. I hope it's called the Appliance Alliance. That would be great. Because like it's hard to tell, but it may be a toaster with sunglasses, either that or like a handbag along the line of Toads My Goats.
Okay.
But just generally, we also see stuff that indicates there's going to be like a science theme. There's going to be a movie theater, some camping going on, and magic as well, with the rabbit that looks like it turns into a top hat.
All right.
But yeah, if you want all of the details on all of that, go check out my video.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So now stepping away from, or stepping away a little bit from, or transitioning from London Comic Con into some other stuff. We have a pair, I guess, of full combined mode first looks. The first one, which is actually coming from London Comic Con, I've been jumping back and forth, is we have our first full look at Studio Series Devastator combined. Now, the pictures. What was that?
It's not a good look, but it's.
I mean, I think part of it has to do with the pose.
Yep.
Part of it has to do with the fact that the arms are on the wrong sides.
Yep.
And part of it has to do with the fact that part of Mixmaster, Overload, and Scrapper are all in test shot colors.
Yes.
It's not a great look, but
No.
we have at least a sense of how it's going to be fully combined. I do feel like I prefer the way that the face looks here than I did when like the individual photos came out of just like Mixmaster.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll wait for like prettier photos at this point, but it is nice to just see like we're getting there. Like this time last year is when we were first found out that they're doing Studio Series Devastator, to now be like a year out where half of the thing is out and the rest of it's going to come out within the next 6 months. It's pretty exciting.
Yeah.
The other combiner that we have to check out is the fully combined, fully assembled Piranha-Con / King Poseidon from Takara Tomi's Generation Selects line. We have all 6 members combined, and beautiful, beautiful detail. Fortunately, at this point, the pre-order window has been closed at Hasbro Pulse, and I believe on most of the websites that have this for sale from other like distribution means are sold out of some of the earlier waves. Now, ideally, this will be available once like the actual release happens. That some of these places will have like ordered more than what they allotted for pre-orders. And people will be able to grab this because he looks amazing.
I'm so excited.
I have all of these pre-ordered already. Like I'm
Same.
down for this. And then now I have God Neptune. So which was part of me. I was looking at the loose God Neptune. I was like, I could just get like they're probably gonna make one for Generation Selects, so I should just get that. And I was like, but what if they don't? And so I bought, and it's also like way less expensive than this one. So yeah. But he looks great. They even show like the sword and everything fully combined, which is nice to see in some of these photos.
And
But
he's got proper like, hands and feet
yeah,
too.
the hands, the feet, it's a whole complete package. It's very impressive, very 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 nice. And then the last, we'll round it off with two bits of sightings and a pre-order, which will lead us into pretty pre-orders, which I will cover since Jared's gone. The things we have to talk about. So we mentioned before that Ratchet is available. Ratchet was spotted at the tail end of last week at Walgreens, and now he's actually available up on Walgreens' website. So if you go to walgreens.com and search like Siege Ratchet, you will be able to. Well, actually, let me double check, because I say that you might not be able to anymore. No, your Ratchet continues to be in stock, so you will be able to purchase Siege Ratchet. And I believe if you have a Walgreens membership card or like membership number, use that and like click the coupons, because there's like a $2 off coupon, so you can get Siege Ratchet for cheaper. I would say even cheaper. He's still, I mean, he's $20. He's the size of a normal like retail deluxe, but 18. Save yourself some money. Go buy a cookie.
Yeah.
The other thing we have, the planograms or end caps for the Transformers 35th anniversary at Walmart are starting to show up. So these are basically like, they're the store displays, but they already come pre-stocked, and these include the exclusive Blue Streak, Sound Blaster, Cell Shaded Optimus, and Megatron, along with the latest waves of Siege Voyagers. So Starscream and Springer, along with Thundercracker and Megatron. And then it appears it's a revision wave of the deluxes. So it's Hound, Red Alert, and Refractors.
Huh.
I believe that this is a revision wave we knew about, so it seems that that's what's being stocked in these, which is probably, I mean, good if you're still looking for Refractor, not good if you're looking for
Hound.
Huh?
Because Hound has been available.
Well, more so not good if you're looking for Impactor, Barricade, and Mirage. Yeah. If they've already kind of... What?
Sorry, I just had to cough.
Oh, that sounded like you were like having a fit. But yeah, these are starting to show up. I just want I just want the end cap. Like I just want to like be like, if like, especially if the place just puts out like the deluxes like I've been seeing. It's like, what do you guys do with the box? Can I have it?
Yeah. Yeah, just get a bunch of those and use that for your display.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then the last thing before we move into pre-orders is so a couple months back, it was announced that that Viz Media would be releasing a set of manga that translates all of the different manga and story pages that are exclusive to Japan, that were in continuity with the Transformers cartoon in Japan. Like, all came from like Television Television magazine and everything. Volume 2 has just been recently put up for pre-order on Amazon for a release date of February 2020. So this is just like, if you're interested in that side, like learning more about like that side of G1 and everything, or like finally owning officially a piece of this media, because I'm pretty sure some of these, if not most of them, have been translated, but like unofficially. So to have the official one and be able to like pick up the manga and everything's pretty cool. So that's been released, or the pre-order's been put up rather. And then the last thing we have for tonight is, or at least one of the last things, is pretty pre-orders courtesy of Jared. He links us to the Chosen Prime and the DX9 toy
Warm
Warren
Pocket
Pocket,
Dinobot gift set black purple. This is seems to be basically the shattered glass version of the
which
Dinobots.
also seems vaguely Insecticon colored.
Yeah,
Um,
because that's interesting. That's probably not intentional because Grimlock's the shattered glass Grimlock's colors were based on Triptychons.
right.
Correct.
I guess it's just the way, like the hues and everything that they
It's just
chose.
color out and whatnot. Yeah.
So this is a set of all 5 Warren Pocket Dinobots in SG colors. Um, Retails for $140. It's a pre-order arriving soon, according to the Chosen Prime's website. So go grab that if you're so inclined. And then the last thing we have is this week's mascot, courtesy of Eric. We have sold out TFCon exclusive Bisque. All right,
Uh-huh.
and that pretty much ends the show. Unless Michael, you have anything else to add?
Uh, Nothing else besides just plugging social medias and again.
Right, which we don't have anything else out this week to my knowledge. You can listen to some of the other episodes of Steel City Bots. I'm not sure if we're going to plan on doing a like TFCon, like the people who were there wrap
Yeah.
up. This is sort of the like, oh, the people who stayed home, plus me, because
Yeah.
we needed a third person and we didn't have anyone else.
Yeah.
So we'll see how we handle that. But once again,
Mhm.
like if you want to listen to, I mean, if you're already listening to the show, but please like spread the word. Like we're available on anywhere that podcasts are I almost said sold, listened to, whether that be the YouTube channel, Stitcher, Google Play, Apple Podcasts, anywhere you can listen to podcasts for the most part. You can find us. The show's Twitter account is at Steel City Bots. The network is at Nerdy Geek Talk. Follow the at Steel City Bots. Currently, you'll see, if you follow currently, you'll see a picture of Siege crosshairs with white fists. I swapped the fists from one of the ratchets that I own. You can find me personally at Logos Minor. I've been tweeting a lot more lately. Just I kind of like hopped up on the like TFCon vibes. That might also be why I may sound a bit more lively than I normally do on this show. I'm also awake, which is rare. So enjoy it while it lasts. Michael, where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at SoundJack426. YouTube, I do Transformers reviews and a lot of bot stuff. Instagram's where I post my toy photos. Twitter's where I hang out, so come on by and say hi. And you can also check out my coffee account, if you want to help support me or request me for commissions of toy photography or my short comics. And you should also check out RDSJ Gaming, where I play video games with Alyssa, aka the Rational Dove, and where we will be playing not Pokemon Coliseum, Pokemon Sword and Shield very soon.
Now, are you guys gonna do like the same version, or are you gonna do separate ones? Like, how you guys gonna handle that?
We don't have the capacity to do to do like a versus playthrough as of yet. So we're going. So both of us want to play Sword version. So I ordered the 2-pack of Sword and Shield. So we'll play through Shield on the channel.
And you'll personally play Sword.
Yes.
Okay.
And we're also going to pick the starter that neither of us are choosing. So it's going to be kind of like both of our playthrough, though I think I'm going to be on the controller most of the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. And then he is no longer with us now, but in spirit. He's not dead. He's just, his internet went out. We have Jared at Dread Prime _. Eric at Eric Crowbar. Zeus at _Zeus. and that's it. You once again, thank you for listening, and tune in next time.
Bye. I think that was a bit rough,
Only
unfortunately.
only because of the fact that we like lost people.